Always what else?
Actually,
Yeah.
history. History.
History. Well, history's better.
I was gonna say, is that better or worse?
Yes.
Ooh, much better.
Much better. That's a 19.
19. You're kind of rusty on things, but you see, as you kind of flip through the pages, you kind of tell this book seems to be a little bit more like dwarven folklore.
Okay.
And as you're going through it, it's kind of stating it's kind of a slight history on the creation of the Northern Wall. And as you go through it, you see a couple of pages that are like a little bit bookmarked, and it seems to be that Morgothal, one of the great kings, many eons ago during the Great War between them and the Fae, he fell in love, and it's rumored that he built something in this area. What, you're not sure, but it seems to be that there may be something in this ballpark of the wall that an old dwarven king made.
He also kidnapped 3 dragons and raced them all around, chained up.
You said many eons ago, and now I've just got that opening song from Hercules stuck in my head. And then along came Zeus.
Bless my soul, but
I might have to watch that later. I love that movie.
it's a dramedy.
It's so good. Meg is best Disney princess still. Second best. Cusco is still best.
She hasn't been officially recognized. And I didn't see her with all the Disney princesses in Wreck-It Ralph.
I know, it's very sad. She gets left out a lot. But so does Kidok. Kidok Kakashi. She actually is a princess.
Yeah.
Meg's just a god's girlfriend.
That's better than a princess, I would assume.
Oh no.
Well, I'm going to lay in the very nice cot and read this book.
Okay,
until
so
I pass out.
you guys all see Miriam. She kind of stands up on the edge and kind of just wanders towards the bigger tent, and kind of disappears into there. What are you guys doing?
Have you guys searched the other tents already? Found...
Well, I saw her rummaging around.
I threw them open to find people, not
Nothing
so
here.
much searching.
I'm just thinking, like, this looks like it's most likely the campsite we were looking for the bitches.
And from this vantage point, you both see, you see the larger tent, and you see about 4 other smaller ones kind of spread out throughout the camp, and you do see a trail that's kind of been worn into the camp that leads towards the waterfall.
Okay. So it's 5 total tents. We just killed 2 people. Do we see any, like, signs of people just, like, sleeping on the ground or anything like that? That's what I'm gonna look for. Like, I'm trying to ascertain how big a camp this really
Roll an
is.
investigation check for me.
Okay. Like, my ultimate goal is trying to figure out a guess as to how many char we're looking for. You said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
15.
You see, the telltale signs of, like, maybe could be anywhere from at least 8 to up to 15.
Jesus. I was thinking, like, 5 to 10. Okay.
Oh, God. That's a lot of tents to look at.
Well, there's only 5 tents total, right?
Yeah.
But it looks like it could be that many people.
Just without going further into it, I mean, just the wear and tear that's around here, it seems like there's a larger group.
Gotcha.
No.
We probably shouldn't stay here then.
She didn't.
Definitely would have seen those flames. Let's go get Miriam.
Looks on my face.
Is kind of what I think we
I
should be
don't
doing.
sleep.
So as you two kind of come together and you walk into this large tent, you see a nice, fancy, regal-looking cot with some carpeted kind of furs and skins on the ground for a nice foot feel. And then you also see a desk in the corner, and laying astride the cot, gently snoring, is Miriam with a book on her face.
I haven't slept at all yet.
She's made herself quite comfortable.
That's true. I'm gonna go look at the desk, see if there's anything
Okay.
of interest.
You walk over to the desk and you roll just actually no fuck it. You look through the books and you see a couple of them that seem like you could almost read the title, but just something about it just kind of like slips your mind. And as you do, roll an intelligence check for me. Or actually, do history.
Get smart.
Same thing. Oh, no, it's not, because I have a
Yeah,
proficiency. Haha.
It adds things. I'm trying to get
It
better.
sure does, thank you. 22.
22. I mean, it's not like it's your first language, but where your language had roots in it. Sylvan.
Oh. Okay.
And you know that to be the language of fairies and the fae. As you
Oh.
go through all of the different books, you also see another one that kind of sticks out to you because it's Elvish.
Okay. And I do read Elvish, obviously.
Yeah.
So, what do I see from that one?
You take it out and you kind of flip through a couple of the pages, and you see it seems to be kind of an old counting of like love stories back through the eras. And this one specifically focuses on some of the grander loves and higher stories and folk tales about the fae. And as you kind of flip through them, you see some of the pages that are really like earmarked and looked through are about Florian, which was this beautiful, beautiful fairy creature that would guile men into her home and love them to death, basically. But there's just decades of stories about her beauty and how it's just like raw, scary, beautiful. And
Does
as
it remind me of anyone?
She's itchy now.
I mean, no.
Okay.
Then as you kind of flip through some of the other pages that you see, you see kind of like as a side note towards the back of the story, you see kind of rumors say that Florian met her demise to Morgothel.
Oh, okay. Because as I'm looking at that, I'm definitely thinking, Lady Lorana?
I'm just standing in the middle of the tent being like, gosh, this is a nice tent.
I don't want to keep the phone.
Is there a
And the
chest?
Fey one. Can I flip? I'm gonna.
I'm rolling an investigation check.
What languages do you speak?
8. Common Draconic.
8. I mean, you kind of look around. It's nice stuff in here. You don't really see anything that jumps out at you.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip through the Fey book.
Okay. So again, you flip through it and you see more of these histories, and you kind of like taking a closer look at it. You see that the last known kind of location for Florian was during the decades of the Great War between the Fae and the Dwarves. That some kind of incident happened, and it led to the death of Florian. And that's kind of the last of the folklore that people have heard about her. But there's rumors of some sort of consort between the Dwarven King, even though they were or Dwarven Prince, even though they were enemies, sworn enemies.
I mean, her coming to her demise doesn't necessarily sound like a bad thing, based on what I've heard so far. And Morgothel was part of the people who was...
That name means nothing to you right now.
Okay. Okay. Are these like big books, or are they just kind of like...
Pretty stocky.
Okay. I guess I'll put them back where they were
Okay.
for now. I'm making a mental note of their location.
Okay. As you do, you kind of place the books back, and as you do, you kind of like lightly tip like one of the other books. You can catch it for a second, you push it back, and then you hear.
Of course. Where did that come from?
You kind of look down and you look under the desk, and you see a drawer, kind of like a hidden drawer that's just kind of like maybe half an inch, barely anything to hold on to, kind of poking out from the bottom.
Yeah, I opened that shit.
As you do, you open it out, and as you look through the pages, you kind of read through it, and you can read all of it. It's Elvish.
Oh, okay.
As you do,
Obviously, this is an elf's tent.
as you
Or someone who... Elf weeaboo. Sorry.
as you sift through them, you see it basically is like kind of a ledger for what's going on. It says a Attempt was made at the height of the full moon. Nothing to report. You see found wagon caravan sending supplies to the wall, intercepted and dealt with them. You see no contact made. Attempts on the door are fruitless. And you see kind of more reports of this. As you look further and further back, you can see about every week they either found a cart or found a small village and they raided it and brought the supplies back to this encampment. And you see that this goes on for about a month and a half.
Okay. So the entire time that
things have been going
okay.
weird.
So I'm gonna kind of relay what I've learned to Torin here, and like obviously they've stuck around here because they're looking for something. Whoever's tent this is very interested in Florian's story and the dwarves, I'm guessing, based on what's asleep on her face. So, and based on the tracks we've noticed outside, I'm guessing it's towards that waterfall back there, or past it, or... Is the waterfall area, does it appear like mountainous or something, or just like...
It's kind of like a bluff. Like, you know,
okay.
there's kind of like a ridge line, and then water is kind of running from the
Okay.
top of there.
But it's clearly like a
Falling
raised
out.
amount
Yes.
of... Okay.
Over the ridge.
So, I'm gonna guess there's a ancient dwarven city nearby that, based on the information I have at hand, it seems like they may be trying to break into an ancient dwarven city. Or gain access to something old
So
as
they were
fuck.
trying to open a door.